Hey guys, welcome back. Behavior Strategies for Class here. This is where we empower educators to react with care, confidence, and connection with their students who are struggling with their behavior. And this month, since we are now in February, is going to be our Love and Kindness Month, right? We all need some more love and kindness to share with each other. And so today we're going to talk about teaching friendship skills and kindness. And you think about it, sometimes we just assume like kids know how to behave and react and get along and talk things out, and they really don't. So friendship skills is how students learn to connect and include and care for others. And they do this by using those friendship skills, learning how to show kindness. And these really are core nervous system skills, because when your students feel safe and connected and valued, their brains are open up for learning, collaboration, and problem solving. And all of that is involved in their friendship skills. So this is what we are going to talk about today. Welcome to Behavior Strategies for Class. I am Diane Bachman, your behavior paraprofessional with over 15 years of experience working in special education. And I'm so glad you're here because I'll be teaching you about social emotional learning, behavior strategies, trauma-informed care, and more. So if you are tired of being frustrated and not knowing what to do with your students who have challenging and disruptive behavior, you're in the right place. Now, if you're ready to become more equipped to help your students learn and grow, let's listen in to today's episode. So before we get started, as always, hit that subscribe button. Share this podcast with other educators that you know so we can continue to learn and grow from each other. Now, on some other exciting news, I now have available a trauma-informed behavior micro-intervention toolkit. I know that's a lot of wording, but it's truly a toolkit that will help you in a trauma-informed way to help your students with their behaviors. You'll get some scripts that you can use. You will get some de-escalation tools that you can use. And this kit is a downloadable digital resource that you can have for only $10. Now, the link is going to be in the show notes, so go ahead, check it out, and then shoot me an email. Shoot me a DM. Let me know what you think. How has the toolkit helped you? So again, check it out. It is a micro-intervention toolkit. There's a little shorter intro for that, or a shorter title for that for you guys. $10. Check the link in the show notes. This is going to really help you, give you some concrete tools that you can start using like right away. So check it out, guys. I can't wait for you to see it and use it today. So again, like I said, we're talking about friendship skills. Now, a lot of our students, I would say probably every single one of our students, struggles with these skills, with making friends, with keeping friends, with interacting with friends, with wanting to be friends or make friends. So this truly is an important, these are important skills for all of our students. Now, of course, friendship skills are going to help your students build trust and belonging. It helps them navigate conflict without shame. It helps them develop resilience through connection. And it really helps them also feel anchored in their class community because they feel a part. They feel part of it. They feel connected. They have friends. When they get to class, they're running over and talking to each other, and, they haven't seen each other in like 12 hours. Or sometimes if a student is late in the morning, kids are super excited. Or if a student leaves for the day early, everyone's like, oh, bye, bye, the excitement, because there's a connection. They feel that belonging there. Now, kindness is also a practice. And so kindness is really noticing someone else's feelings, right? Offering help without being asked, using gentle, calm language, giving second chances, celebrating each other's successes. Now, this is so fun to see, and I'm sure you've seen it already with your students. I work a lot in one of our kindergarten classes this year, and they really are so sweet. A lot of them, they notice when someone is sad, when someone is crying. And in an elementary school, in kindergarten, there's always somebody crying about something. And there's usually a handful of kids that will come over to that student and be like, what's wrong? And they will use a calm language, gentle voices. They will come alongside them and just be like, hey, it's going to get better. Whatever it is, like one of our students, he really misses one of his parents all the time. And so, one of the kids would always be like, it's okay, it's okay. And then they'd bring him right back into the group. And so it's really so fun to see when they truly show some kindness to each other. Because we see already too much aggression and annoyance with each other and rudeness. And so being able for them to know how to show kindness is definitely a bonus, right? I take for granted that these kids know how to behave like this. Like they know how to show kindness. And truly, some of them do not. So I'm going to go over some of these micro skills, if you will, of friendship skills that are important to teach the kids. And you don't have to make a huge lesson, obviously, out of this. This is something that you could take maybe one thing a week, or maybe it's just a few minutes here and there that you hear some kids are having issues during recess, which is probably every single day, and you could address it and then teach them what is a skill that they could use in that situation. And I've seen even teachers teaching this with their first graders and with the kinders. We have to start when they're young and showing them the right way to treat each other. So one of the skills that I really don't even think about is teaching them how to join a group. So this is especially at recess or at lunch in the cafeteria. Maybe that one student doesn't see their friend is absent that day, they don't know where to sit, but they see some other friends that they know. What do? Now, majority of students, they know. They just walk over, hey, can I sit here? But there's some students, they are so afraid to do that. Way out of their comfort zone, or sometimes they don't know what to say. And so just reminding them hey, guys, you can just say, hey, can I sit here? Or, hey, can I play with you guys? Or, hey, can I join in the game? Sometimes I've seen students where you don't really officially ask, you just jump in. And this especially at recess. We have a lot of kids that are playing football, or they'll start playing soccer, and there's 45 of them, right? It's not officially split up in teams and but they're out there running around, they're having fun. Nobody really has to ask, hey, can I play? They usually just jump in and they're fine. It's not a big deal. Now, if there's less people, then usually it'd be better if they say, hey, do you mind if I join you guys? I've seen some students do that, and then some And then I think the one skill too with this is once they ask, sometimes they get a no, no, you can't play. Or no, we already have enough people. No, we already started. Whatever it is, it's a no. That is another big skill to learn, is handling that no. But I asked nicely. I was nice. I saw this, like I wanted to play, and I realized now they don't want to play with me, and now I have no friends, and it could spiral really fast. But and I've had students come up to me, about that situation, and it's just like, okay, well, what about so and so over here? What are they playing? Have you tried to ask them to play? Like there's other kids, other places where they can go and play. Then there's always some students, like they're totally fine sitting and reading a book at recess. Others are just fine just walking around by themselves, or maybe just walking with a friend around. So I think on part of the asking to join a group, preparing them also, like it's okay if somebody says, no, not right now, like we already have the game going, like I said. Giving kids the freedom too to be like, it's okay if it's not the right time or whatever for them to join. So teaching them again, like it's okay to say no. And that's part of that skill in showing like some boundaries and disagreeing respectfully. Like you don't have to throw a fit or you want to fight somebody because they just told you no, they don't want you to join with them right now. So that is definitely a good skill as well, handling no. Another skill to teach them is just asking for space. So sometimes when they want to come in and they're excited to see their friend, but that friend is like, I just want some alone time. Like I said earlier, sometimes kids are fine just walking by themselves, just reading a book or writing something or drawing or whatever during recess. Or at lunchtime, if that person asked, hey, can I sit here? And they said, well, I'd really like some more, just some personal space. It's okay. So it's okay on both ends, right? We have to let students know, like, it's okay to say no, or it's okay that student doesn't join you right now. And then the other student has to be okay accepting that, no, not right now, or no, I need this right now, and be able to move on, right? It doesn't have to blow up into this big disappointment and hurt. It's just understanding and listening and caring and knowing that other person isn't saying that to be mean or rude. They're just letting you know where they're at that moment. And that's okay. Another skill to teach your students is to reconnect after there's been some harm, after maybe somebody has said something really mean, or after somebody maybe physically hurt you, or maybe after, I don't know, there was actually an accident and people collided, or people took their friends from each other, right? You have a lot of that. Well, I was playing with her first. Well, no, she's going to play with me now, so you can go over there. And, the fighting over the friends, who they're playing with. And then being able to be like, okay, like, however they can figure out a compromise maybe, and an apology. And especially sometimes after there's been hurt, for somebody to finally realize, and that's that empathy piece, that they actually did hurt their feelings. And obviously sometimes it's not intentional. It happens, right? And it happens with us as adults. And so sometimes we just have to let it roll off of us and not take it personally. Other times, if it truly is hurting us and bothering us, then we need to be able to go to that person and say, hey, like, this is what I heard you said. Let me know if it's true, because it's really hurt my feelings. It's really bothering me. to be able to have that conversation and so being able to show them like you can come back and apologize or be able to talk it out when there was some hurt that happened to restore that connection with those students. And then another micro skill is that they can disagree respectfully, right? There's a lot of kids, especially in that big group, like I was saying at recess, they're playing football, soccer, whatever it is. And, somebody's trying to take charge and somebody's trying to say the rules, but this other person believes in these rules and going back and forth and back and forth. And usually they do come to a compromise. Sometimes, of course, there's some nice yelling and screaming going on. And then usually one of them will walk away. I've seen that, which is good. Or it's disagreeing. You each have different viewpoints on something. And that could be like even just in a lesson or a story, and you disagree with how the author wrote out that character. Or it could be about another story that you learned, or it could be about how you work on a certain project together as a team. You can disagree respectfully, right? Because you want to show respect to each other. And I have a lot of coworkers that we all have different viewpoints. Obviously kids are not really into politics, but just on different ways you do things. People may do things, the way they pack their lunch, the way they hang up their jacket, the way they write their name, whatever it is. We obviously are not all going to agree on every little thing, and that goes the same for your students. And so being able to be like, it's okay, like we can disagree and move on. You're right. We're going to disagree about this and that's okay. We're just going to move on. There's no point in like just constantly hounding and going head to head over something that you just disagree on. It's okay. Right? That's why we are all unique and different and beautiful and have our own minds and our own thoughts. Another micro skill to teach is handling that jealousy or feeling left out. So I had that experience today. One of our students was frustrated with a game they were playing, and he was feeling left out because he thought he was the better player, of course, and just trying to work through that. Like, hey, everybody was taking a turn. Not everybody got the ball at the same time, or not everybody got the ball, 45 times, just one person getting the ball, and being able to be like, it's okay. Like you were in playing, but then one thing upset you and now you are feeling left out, when it's like, no, buddy, you were just there playing. And it's okay if so-and-so is over here doing better at that moment, And I think it's just reminding people too, like, everybody's different. Everybody reacts differently. And there's always somebody else to play with. Truly. There's always somebody else that you can connect with. And I know sometimes that's hard, and probably harder as the kids get older, because, I can remember a handful of friends that I had from or all the way through high school. So if you told me like I can't be friends with them, now I got to go try and find somebody else, like I really would be upset, and that would be really hard because I would feel left out and jealous that they're all still friends, but now I can't be friends with you. I don't know, whatever it is, but teaching them that there's really, truly always somebody else who needs a friend. And being able to see that and notice that, right? Because, even in marriage, right? They always say there's somebody for everybody. And I believe that true also in friendship. So another skill that you can teach is that, of course, that sharing and taking turns. And that really comes out, especially in kindergarten, because a lot of the kids sometimes have never been in preschool or they've never been in a group of kids. And so now, and maybe they have an older sibling so that they don't really play that much together or whatever it is. Now they're in a different social setting and they are not really happy about trying to learn how to share and take turns. That is obviously a very true skill that all students need. Being able to say, oh, okay, well, you can use this for now. And then when you're done, then I'll take it and go over here, or whatever it is. That is super important. And another skill to teach also is that listening. We definitely take that for granted. And I do find myself having to really sometimes focus on just listen. Because you can be in the middle of a conversation and you are listening, but they say something and you're like, oh, wait, I want to tell them about this. So now all of a sudden, right, I'm concentrating on this other thing that I want to tell that person. When then that takes away from me actually listening to what that person is telling me. Now, this obviously is a skill like you always have to work on, right? In marriage, in friendship, at work, you always have to learn on how to listen, how to truly listen to understand. So, a reminder that these are skills, these behaviors to show kindness and to have friends and treat each other kindly and looking out for each other, these are truly skills that need to be taught for a lot of your students. Not every student, but for a lot of your students. And so being able to teach it as a whole and reminding them, like, it's okay, this happens, or if that student says this, and if you're hurt, then being able to go to that person. These are huge skills. And of course, a lot of these skills are caught, right? What do they say? They're caught and not always specifically taught. So especially the little ones, like, they are watching. I mean, all of your students are watching you. Whether or not you intentionally do whatever, or the way you talk to maybe another adult coming in the classroom, your students are watching. Are you rude? Are you short? Are you yelling? Are you, dismissing them? How do you treat other adults? And of course they're seeing how you treat other students. Are you being kind? Are you showing respect? Are you listening? Are you giving space when they need it? Are you showing like, hey, I'm going to take turns with you? I love when a lot of you like sit on the floor and truly engage with students, like when they're working on a project. Or, being in Colorado, sometimes we have indoor recess, and that's when a lot of teachers get out different like board games and things for kids to play. And to see that some of you, are sitting on the floor and playing with them and showing them, okay, well, we're taking turns. Now it's your turn. Okay, you're done. Now it's your turn. Okay, and listening and working through all of that. Like, you're constantly teaching everything and anything, right? So today is teaching friendship skills and that kindness. Super important to get these social skills for your students. Now, before we end, I just want to say, again, you are doing an amazing job. You are modeling the positive behaviors, the positive social skills that your students need. And don't give up. They need you. Also, another reminder is to get your trauma-informed behavior micro-intervention toolkit. It is a digital download that you can get right away and start implementing as well immediately, and it is only $10. So check out the show notes, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for listening. I truly appreciate your support. And if I have encouraged you, motivated you to continue to learn, to support your students, even better, to help them strive in your classroom, please leave a review, hit that subscribe button so that others can see they can learn and grow here as well. Thank you.